Hi class, this video that I am recording, it's to help you out understand the scores that you have gotten in your strategic message planner. Um, First of all, I want to congratulate the several students who were able to accomplish really good grades. There are like 4 or 5 students who got plain 100 points because their work was fabulous and they did a good job paying attention to the instructions that were given and all the information that I sent. So I want to start off also by telling you that this link here that was discussed on the very first video that I recorded for the class, it is important. If you don't read the messages that come to your email, then every time you log into the class, make sure you click here on the announcements, and there you have all the messages that I sent to the class. So usually when I post a message here, it will go straight to your email. For some reason, sometimes you don't read your emails, but then make sure that you always get the information here because I want to believe that students who did not were very successful on the strategic message planner, it's because they missed to read the message that I sent here. And this is the message that I sent once the project was assigned. Though you had the guidelines here, and since we discussed the 6 C's throughout the entire class, what I did was I basically told you which parts of the strategic message planner were or belong to the 6 C's of Signorelli. So many students read this and they were able to be successful because they incorporated all the information that you already have in your hands. Throughout the semester, you have been working with your brand, and every discussion you have been uncovering and discovering more information about them, either through the brand asset evaluator. You did a SWOT, then we discussed points of differentiation, points of parity. So at all times you have had this information, and the problem for the low scores is because you have not implemented this information and you came up with brand new information that did not connect to all your work. So I have here a strategic message planner that was successful, and this belongs to Denise Jones. So I'm just going to go briefly through it. She discussed the advertising goal. She talked about the client. She gave information about the back story. Then she went throughout the product, and that she did correctly is, for example, here, the target audience. So she discussed, to begin with, just like a simple information on demographics via age and marital status and family composition. Then she described the values of these clients, of these customers, and then she was very good about incorporating her extensio consumer persona. She discussed the product benefits. She talked about the competitors, indirect competitors, and then she talked about the brand image. So she discussed here the archetypes. This was information that she had already discovered through her blogging, through the different discussions that we had here that we did in the class. And she also addressed some of the challenges that the brand was or is currently facing. Then she went through the strategic message, and she worked very well discussing, well, not really discussing, but outlining what is the brand's value proposition. This is something that we've been working with at the end of the semester. So as you can tell, her work, it's just 5 pages. She was very good about including references. At this point of the game, you are students that are juniors and seniors. This is something that you should know and that you should not be forgetting about. So her work was perfect in terms of incorporating all of Signorelli's 6Cs model. So she scored the appropriate grade. Another student that did a fabulous job was Tucker um, Newell. He worked with Honda and his paper was flawless. Kayla Gold, she did Build-A-Bear and her work was great. But the thing with their success is that they were able to use all the information that they already had. They just have to put it into the format of what the strategic message planner is. So this was a doable job. Now let's go back here to what it's coming up and what you're gonna have to do. So now that you have the feedback, now that you know where you did not do good and where you did, you need to move on into the second part of the project. So first disclaimer here, those students who did not score a great grade on the first part of the project, you still have a chance to be successful. And it's not only by completing a very good IMC pitch, but it's also by incorporating the feedback that I have given you into the slides for your presentation. And if I can see that you have modified and edited accordingly, I'm going to go back to that strategic message planner and I am going to edit your grade as well. So you have a chance here of being successful and amend whatever you did wrong. Okay, so now let's discuss this second part, which is the IMC plan. So the IMC, it's a integrated marketing communication campaign. It's all explained here on the things that you need to do. But if you go back to our Moodle class, and I'm just going to go here. When we were on topic number 12, we have here the integrated marketing communications. And if you open the class lecture, you have here what is an integrated marketing communications, and you have the plan and you have a framework. So if you go over this information, you are going to be able to be successful. So also in this class lecture, I was very specific about how that from all the parts of IMC, which is not something that I need to teach you at this point because this is something that you probably already studied when you took your Principles of Marketing class. I focus here more importantly on determining the purpose and objectives of the campaign. And in this class lecture, we discuss the AIDA model. Also, when you wrote your your fourth blog, I have you watching this video about communications objectives. So here is the key to your success when you work on your IMC campaign. I'm giving you the tools. You have to watch this video, see what applies. You have to check your class lecture again and see how you're going to work on your campaign. So now let's go and check what is it that you have to do here. So you are going to pretend that you are presenting to the brand you have been working for. You've been working for Philips, then let's pretend that you have a panel of Philips that are going to listen to the proposal that you have, and what you want is to be hired. If you're hired, that means you get a job and you're going to be very successful with the plan that you have. So here are the important things. Your presentation must be visual. I'm inviting you to take risks on the visuals. You must support, those visuals should support the information that you are delivering. So just don't put a bright yellow color in the back just because it's pretty. You have to put that black yellow color in the back because it matches the information and the plan that you have in mind. So this is what you're going to be assessed on. You are going to be assessed on your ability to tell the backstory and obstacles in the brand prospect relationship. Again, if your strategic message planner was successful, you have it right there. But if it wasn't, go back to the work that you have done throughout the semester and be able to do this. Now, what do I want you, how do I want you to do this? You could use PowerPoint, you could use a Prezi presentation, you could use Spark as I've been doing the whole semester, Adobe Spark. You have it for free on my Plymouth, and it's very easy to create. It's super approachable, and it gives you a nice transition time from slide to slide or the way that you want to present information. This I'm totally leaving up to you. But remember, you are taking a branding class. This is marketing. You have to be able to impact your audience with your visuals and with the information that you're going to share. Your slides should not have tons, or let's say it, a letter in terms of information. Your slides should be like clear bullet points, straight to the point. Where I am relying on getting the information, it's in you presenting. And this does not mean reading, or if you have to read, but you have to be very engaging. You have to have a flow to your presentation. You need to sell this presentation. So you are going to discuss the prospect, the persona of the consumer to receive the communication in the IMC campaign. So present a profile of the persona. I mean, make sure you read all this, and this is important. Identify the match between the inner and outer layers of the brand and the prospect. So if you need to present this on your slide with a graph or with visuals, well, then do it that way. The important thing, again, is that whatever visual you present, it has to match what you are discussing. Communications objectives and the most important message, go back to your class lecture, go back to this video, class lecture, and make sure that you are addressing the most important thing. And read this information so that you make sure that you are going to be successful with what you are presenting. And then you have here the proposed execution. So look at this. I'm asking you at least a minimum of 3 mediums that you should integrate into your IMC. You could discuss using TV advertisement. You might want to do personal selling. You might want to create a social media campaign. I mean, you can pick here what you're doing. If you are creating a social media campaign, that counts as one. If your social media campaign has promotion through Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, that is only one. So don't get confused giving me 3 different social platforms as if they were each one a different medium. Social media is considered one thing. Now, if you do social media as one thing, then you do a website component, that is a second one. So make sure that you have the ability to identify what are channels and how one differentiate of another one, and how the fact that something is online or digital does not mean that it's the same. Then we have the next point where you're going to be great. It's going to be on the delivery and the audience. So your presentation should be 8 minutes at minimum, 10 at maximum. And as I told you before, You need to engage the audience. If you are recording yourself, make sure you're making the proper eye contact with the camera. I mean, just think of this as if when you go live on Facebook, or when you do a live Instagram, or when you create a story on Instagram. So be very relatable and be very personable. If you are working on a team, make sure that every member has a time or participates in this presentation. Member who does not participate in the presentation will not be graded and will miss a big chunk of grade. So this is the time to be you and embrace your ability to present in front of people. And then we have here the slides production. So again, pictures, graphics, it's gotta be memorable, it's gotta support and not document the presentation content. We already talked about this. Make sure that it's not all crumbled, that the information has a space and that there's a nice flow. Look over for spelling, typos, and make sure that the slides enhance the speaker and the message. And a very important thing is the call to action. So by the end of your presentation, when I'm listening to it, I must have that feeling that I just need to stand up and say, yes, you're hired, let's do this. How do you get to that point with your viewers? On your call to action. Your call to action for the most entails a verb, entails that I have to act upon what you are presenting to me. So this is key to have a successful closing to your presentation. So what you're going to have to do to submit your work is, I don't want you to send me individual slides. I want to be able to watch the presentation and see the slides there. If by any chance your presentation, it's you who's going to be in the back and the slides are not going to be like 100% clear and I can really view them, then it's okay. Moodle is going to be open to support your file with the presentation, but then you just need to submit a link to your YouTube video. So you can record this presentation the way you want. Like I said before, you could use Spark. When you do Spark, it allows you to create videos within Spark, and all this is for free. Again, you can access Spark from your My Plymouth site. If you are working and if you want to do an iMovie, sometimes you have a hard time trying to upload it to Moodle. If you are successful, then it's great, but it's not. If not, just go upload that into a YouTube video and then just share your link. If you don't want to be public, make sure you just record that as unlisted, and only the people with the link can watch your video. So I think this is, and I'm hoping that this is very self-explanatory and that you are going to be successful with this section of the project. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email me, call me, text me, and we are just down to 2 more weeks with the class, and I'm really hoping to see everybody succeed. So with this, I hope that you have a great day, and let's communicate if you have any questions. Have a good one. Bye-bye.